Did you know that nearly 1 in 3 people have experienced toxic relationships? That's a staggering number, yet many don't even realize they're caught in one. Toxic individuals often sail through relationships while others struggle to find meaningful connections. How is that possible? Studies show that toxic people can be incredibly charming, using their charisma to attract others quickly. According to research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, those with narcissistic traits are often perceived as more likable at first. They have a knack for making you feel special, and that can be hard to resist. But there's more to the story. Toxic relationships are often built on manipulation, drama, and unhealthy attachment. Many people mistake this intensity for love, but it's not real. In fact, studies indicate that people in toxic relationships often feel more anxious and unhappy than those who are single. In this video, we'll uncover the dark secrets of why toxic people find relationships easier than the rest of us. We'll explore their charm, their manipulation tactics, and the emotional chaos they thrive on. By the end, you'll understand how to recognize these behaviors and reclaim your power. So, if you've ever felt confused or overwhelmed in a relationship, stay tuned. Your journey to healthier connections starts now. Chapter 1: The Dark Magnetism of Toxic Charm. Have you ever wondered why toxic people seem to attract others so easily? The secret lies in their ability to project charm, even when it's just a facade. Toxic people can be masters of creating an alluring image. Their confidence, attention, and charisma can initially make them seem incredibly appealing. According to research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, people who exhibit narcissistic traits often come across as more charming and likable at first, even though these traits become problematic later. In the beginning stages of a relationship, toxic individuals may shower their partners with affection, attention, and praise. This is commonly referred to as love bombing. It feels amazing, but it's all about control. The constant attention can make someone feel special, creating an emotional high. However, once they've secured the person's trust, their behavior often changes. Toxic charm isn't about genuine love or connection. It's about manipulation. They know how to play into their partner's desires, weaknesses, or fears. For example, they may mirror your interests and values, creating a false sense of compatibility. But that connection is based on deception. According to Dr. Ramani Durvasula, a clinical psychologist and author of Don't You Know Who I Am? Toxic people are experts at emotional mimicry. This initial charm makes them seem ideal, and many fall for it. People who are emotionally healthy might find it harder to establish deep connections right away because they're more cautious and authentic. Toxic people, on the other hand, don't play by those rules. They create a fast bond, even if it's built on sand. Chapter 2: Emotional Puppeteers. Why manipulation works. One of the reasons toxic people have an easier time maintaining relationships is their skill at manipulation. They are emotional puppeteers, pulling strings in ways you may not even notice. Their tools? Gaslighting, guilt-tripping, and shifting blame. It's not about partnership or growth. It's about power and control. Gaslighting is a common tactic. It's when someone makes you question your reality. They'll twist situations or deny things they've said to make you feel confused or even crazy. According to a study published in Psychiatry Research, gaslighting often leads to anxiety, depression, and even PTSD in victims. Another tactic is playing the victim. Toxic individuals will make you feel guilty for things you didn't do. They flip situations, making themselves seem innocent and helpless, when in reality, they're pulling the strings. By doing this, they shift the emotional burden onto their partner. You end up feeling responsible for their feelings and actions, even though the reverse is true. Love bombing often leads to what's called intermittent reinforcement, an unpredictable cycle of affection and withdrawal. This pattern makes you crave the positive moments even more. It's a psychological trick that's difficult to escape from. Studies on addiction have shown that inconsistent rewards, like those given in a toxic relationship, create a stronger attachment than consistent kindness. The saddest part is that many people stay because they keep hoping for the next good moment. But the truth is, toxic people know exactly what they're doing. They manipulate emotions to keep the upper hand. If you're constantly feeling confused, doubting yourself, or exhausted, it's likely you're being manipulated. Chapter 3: The Thrill of Chaos. Why Drama Equals Love for toxic people, drama is exciting. Chaos is fuel. If you've ever been in a relationship where things are always intense, either in arguments or extreme highs, you've probably experienced this. Toxic individuals often equate drama with passion. They believe that constant conflict or emotional turbulence means that the relationship is alive. In fact, many toxic people confuse drama with love. They need emotional chaos to feel connected. Dr. Harville Hendrix, in his book Getting the Love You Want, explains that some people are drawn to relationships that mimic unresolved issues from their past. They seek partners who stir up similar emotional conflicts because it feels familiar, even if it's unhealthy. Toxic people create situations where emotions run high, whether through jealousy, mind games, or provoking arguments. They may pick fights over small things just to trigger emotional responses. When things settle down, the toxic person might act lovingly or apologize. This roller coaster creates an emotional addiction. You start associating the highs and lows with love. Interestingly, a study in psychological science found that couples who experience more volatility in their relationships, such as frequent arguments or emotional swings, often report feeling more intense feelings of connection. This doesn't mean the relationship is healthy, though, it just means it's more addictive. Toxic people thrive on this chaos because it keeps their partner emotionally hooked. The ups and downs create an intense bond, making it harder for the other person to leave. Healthy relationships, on the other hand, often feel boring to someone who's used to chaos. Stability doesn't provide the same emotional rush. If you're enjoying this exploration into toxic relationships, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on our latest insights and advice. Chapter 4: Confidence versus Insecurity. The unfair advantage. Toxic people often seem more confident, but here's the catch: it's usually a mask. This confidence, whether real or fake, gives them an advantage in relationships. People are naturally drawn to confidence. It can be reassuring, especially when you're unsure of yourself. But toxic people use it as a tool to dominate. A study from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships shows that people with high self-esteem tend to appear more attractive, even if that confidence isn't entirely genuine. Toxic people know this, so they act bold, decisive, and in control. They exude certainty, which makes others believe they know what they want. In contrast, people who are more emotionally healthy might second-guess themselves. They may take time to consider their actions and feelings. This can come off as insecurity, but it's actually just emotional maturity. They aren't rushing into anything, they want to make sure the connection is real. Toxic individuals thrive in this space because they are quick to make decisions and push others into action. They will declare love early, make big promises, and move fast. This makes their partner feel like the relationship is solid. But underneath, it's more about control than care. Dr. Joe Navarro, an expert on body language and human behavior, points out in his book Dangerous Personalities that toxic individuals often project an air of superiority to mask their own insecurities. It's a defense mechanism, not a sign of genuine confidence. Unfortunately, many people mistake this for strength. Healthy people may take time to build trust, which can feel slow compared to the whirlwind romance of toxic partners. But here's the thing: slower, thoughtful relationships are more likely to last. The rush of toxic relationships often leads to disappointment because they're based on fantasy, not reality. Chapter 5: Reclaiming Your Power, Breaking the Cycle. The good news? You can break free from toxic relationships. The first step is recognizing the signs and understanding that the strategies toxic people use are deliberate. Once you see through the manipulation, you can start reclaiming your power. It's important to set boundaries. Toxic people thrive on pushing past them. They'll test your limits, and if you don't stand firm, they'll take advantage. Boundaries aren't just about keeping others out, they're about protecting your emotional health. In boundaries, when to say yes, how to say no, Dr. Henry Cloud emphasizes that boundaries are essential for emotional well-being. They help you define what is and isn't acceptable in your relationships. Toxic people don't respect boundaries, so learning to enforce them is key. Another crucial step is recognizing that love isn't supposed to hurt. If you find yourself feeling drained, anxious, or constantly doubting yourself, the relationship is probably toxic. Healthy love uplifts and supports. Toxic love controls and diminishes. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Talking to a therapist or counselor can give you the tools you need to navigate out of a toxic relationship. In fact, according to the American Psychological Association, therapy can significantly improve your ability to identify unhealthy patterns and develop healthier ones in future relationships. Also, practice self-compassion. Toxic people often leave you questioning your worth. But you deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. It's easy to fall into self-blame when dealing with a toxic partner, but the truth is, their behavior isn't your fault. Healing begins when you stop blaming yourself and start believing that you deserve better. Finally, surround yourself with people who love and support you. Toxic individuals often isolate their partners from friends and family. Reconnect with the people who lift you up. They can remind you of your value and help you rebuild your confidence. If you found this discussion valuable, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We're here to help you navigate the complexities of love and relationships, and we have plenty more insights coming your way. Breaking the cycle of toxic relationships isn't easy, but it's worth it. You deserve a relationship that's built on trust, respect, and real love, one that makes you feel empowered, not controlled.